Good morning. Welcome to the Petersburg National Battlefield Park. Drove down here today just for a fairly easy hike. The trails in the parks here are so nice. It's well maintained, well marked, and very peaceful. So looking forward to a couple hours maybe. Fall kind of came to Central Virginia over the weekend. Our highs were almost 80. I drove in this morning, temperature was 40. It was 30 something when I got up, and it's not supposed to warm up much more than this, but it's November, so what do you do? So I just thought I'd bring you along on this hike through the park, see if we see anything interesting along the way. Talk a little AT. Today is just more about hiking these trails. So come along. Not crunching as many leaves as I thought there'd be out here today. Trail's kind of sand and gravel, so it's nice and soft and quiet. The park is adjacent to U.S. Army Fort Lee, so it's not uncommon to see soldiers out running or groups out doing PT either on the trails or on the park roads. Interesting. I wonder what happened here. Quite a few trees broken off. See if it shows up a bit better. It's like snapped off. Must have been a heavy wind or something through here. But it's just this spot, that's all. I don't know. So we're right adjacent also to the Petersburg city limits. So we're just a couple miles off Interstate 95. So it's never completely quiet back here, but it's still a very nice spot. Well, this massive blowdown has been here for quite some time. Never noticed that. Almost like a cave down there. Here in the parks, they don't want you to relic hunt. You can't come in and break out your metal detector and look for bullets and stuff like that from the war. But I just wonder, when a tree falls over like this, if it's been here long enough, does it pull anything up that might be tangled up in the roots? I always look, but have never found anything. The battlefields are pretty well picked over in the years afterwards, but there's no doubt there's still stuff out here. Love these big old trees back here. It's this grouping. I wonder how old they are. Look at these guys. I don't know if you can hear it. Must be shooting on one of the ranges back at the fort, which is behind me. There's gunfire. Nice wide, easy paths, easy walking. So you might be wondering where this whole AT hike thing came from. Seems like it was all of a sudden. I've been percolating percolating in my mind for quite a while. I remember being on a family vacation in probably 1973. I want to say we were in Pennsylvania, somewhere on the interstate. And there was a bridge went over the highway that was marked Appalachian Trail. Never heard of it before, but just thought it was cool that there was a bridge over a highway just for a trail. I don't remember if I asked anybody about it back then. I just remember something about it stuck. And over the years, every once in a while I'd run into comments about it or magazine articles. A little bit of color left in here. I'd occasionally pick up the Backpacker magazine gear guide. They'd talk about backpacks or tents that would be appropriate for a long hike like the Appalachian Trail. I remember thinking it would be really cool to need something like that. But at that point, I had no need for it. But the name of the trail just kind of kept coming back, popping up periodically. Just came from over there. Came out this way on Prince George Courthouse Road, which was an actual 1860s road. So somewhere early 2000s, I read the book by Bill Irwin and his AT through hike, which was, I want to say 1990. What made his hike entirely unique is that he was blind. Passed away a few years ago. I think he had a dog with him, but I cannot imagine how somebody who was blind could hike that trail. Heck, I have a hard time tripping over stuff myself, and I can see just fine. So, a couple of deer. I'm not sure if they showed up on the camera, but about 50 yards ahead. So that kind of spurred me on to start looking for more books about hiking the trail more. Books about through hikes. So read a few and started searching for hiker blogs on websites like White Blaze, where people could periodically post updates about their through hikes. Started following people there. Started looking for people who set up their own blogs. So I was relaxing reading, sitting in a chair in front of my computer, reading about all the hardships. It just kind of really started to pique my interest. We're being watched. I just see one. The other one's probably nearby. But he's just going to see what I'm doing. Oh, there's the other one. 2, I see 3. 2, 3. Cool. Yeah. So these are also equestrian trails, so you get the occasional horse exhaust. Watch your step. I want to say it was about 2014. I found a blog by a hiker named Chris Galloway. He's a photographer and filmmaker, videographer, who is documenting his hike on his personal blog. And his pictures are beautiful and his writing was entertaining. So I always look forward to the days when his updates would come out. Enjoyed it so much when he announced that he was actually assembling his footage into a feature-length film. He was looking for people to help fund the production costs, so I donated a few dollars. In return, got a copy of the film and my name in the credits. His trail name was Frost. Girlfriend, future fiance, and wife, Sunshine. Be cool to meet him someday. But that made a big impact on me wanting to do this trail. Just watched the movie again not too long ago. Still very good. So you can find, I don't know if it's online anywhere, but definitely worth tracking down if you can. Soldier out running with his weighted vest. I don't know if he showed up in the video, but anyway. So then 2015 comes, and we move, my wife and I, from the Midwest to Central Virginia, where I'm only an hour and a half, really, not even that much, from the south entrance to Shenandoah National Park, and where I showed you in the last video when the AT crosses Interstate 64. So started working my way up Shenandoah along Skyline Drive on the trail. I remember my first hike, I think, was 4 miles round trip. I was absolutely whipped. But that really started to kick it into high gear in terms of my interest in the trail. I just kept thinking I'm happy with going out and doing day hikes, and maybe someday do a couple of nights out on the trail. We're following the yellow blaze today, not the white blaze. So then I started following hikers on YouTube. And earlier this year, found two that just liked them. Seemed like the type of people I'd want to hang out with. One of them, her channel is called Hiking Dancer. Trail name is Roadrunner. Connected since, because Chris and I had started taking ballroom dance lessons earlier this year, and I thought it was cool that there's a ballroom teacher that's hiking the AT. And she made it. I posted my Facebook page for her summit video at the end. But then for a while she was hiking with a guy whose trail name is Lil Chat. And he was doing his own YouTube channel as well. So I started following him. So they hiked together for several hundred miles in Virginia. And eventually he went on ahead and she hooked up with another couple of women. was showing the videos to Christine one night, and she says, "So when are you going to go do your hike?" I said, "Well, I would love to." She says, "Well, why not?" So then I spent a couple of days after that coming up with all sorts of reasons why not. And there's easy reasons to come up why you shouldn't do this. But in reality, they were all more excuses, not really valid reasons. I assume that's probably Rangers' quarters back there. So after mulling it over, trying in a way to talk myself out of it for a couple of days, I went ahead and said, I'm just going to register for a start date. Register with the Appalachian Trail Conservancy to at least reserve a spot. In my mind thinking, I'll just reserve it, but could always cancel it later. Shared it with Christine a couple nights later, and she's like, well, okay. Have fun. Wasn't quite like that, but trying to see where the trail goes up here. Looks like maybe off to the right. Or nowhere at all. I don't know. Let's go see. We backtracked a little. Trail seemed to just end back there, so we'll go check out the Soldier's Spring. When I started this morning about 8:30. The visitor center doesn't open till 9. I wanted to stop in and pick up another trail map, but they weren't open yet, so I'm kind of going off memory. But it's okay. Get to see something else, something different. So the start date is March 13th, 2013, otherwise known as, we're calling it 031323. And I'm not sure this is going anywhere either. I'm just circling back here. I'm not sure where the Soldier's Spring is supposed to be, so we're going to backtrack some more. It's all right. Nice day to be out. So this hike just seems to be a culmination of a lot of things I've thought of and dreamt of and hoped for over the years. Well, it just seems like, corny as it might sound, like I'm really supposed to do this. Certainly not looking forward to being away from Chris for 6 months. Although I intend to meet up a few times along the trail, and she's going to come up to Maine when I finish. So that'll be exciting. So just under 4 months now. Kick the training up a notch or two. Doing the Stairmaster at the gym has certainly helped in terms of climbing, but a lot more of that needs to be done. So that's my story, and I'm pretty well sticking to that. It's about as still as it can be out here. The soldier with the weighted vest just passed me again, going the other direction. It got me thinking that truthfully, I kind of have my own version of that. So it's more of a weighted belt. Kind of around the middle. Trying to lose some of that weighted belt around the middle. Less I have to carry later. Anyway. Yeah, pretty quiet back here today. Rain's supposed to come in later, so it's a nice time to be out.